The IPL starts on April 9th. This is my preview of the tournament. The favourites, Mumbai Indians, certainly. They've been like serial title winners, 5-time champions, and are on a hat-trick now. Earlier, the pattern was they would win every alternate year, which changed with their victory in the last edition, played in the UAE. So, what makes them such a formidable team? Great balance in the squad. Promising and rich youngsters, talented. The other is, of course, formidable experience and very thoughtful, selection of the squad, which means that the composition of the team when it takes the field is always very strong, even if they've made some changes. And led, of course, let's not forget that, by Rohit Sharma, the most successful T20 captain in the IPL. He's won 15 of 19 T20Is as captain also. So when he's led India, his record is formidable. 15 out of 19 matches he's won. And win percentage of 58 as captain in the IPL. This is formidable. And obviously a very strong contributing factor. Then they've got a whole array of players from been representing India and therefore are used also to international experience, whatever it takes, the mindset, the mental toughness. Not that the IPL is not demanding, but even so, having played at the international level makes a big difference. So there's, apart from Rohit Sharma himself, there's Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, Krunal and Hardik Pandya, the Pandya brothers, Rahul Chahar, Jasprit Bumrah. I'm talking only of the Indian players. You got Trent Bolt and you got Quinton de Kock and so on. So that just adds more value. Overseas talent, as I mentioned, Coulter Nile, Kyron Pollard, Jimmy Neesham, Chris Lynn, Adam Mills. I mean, this is a just fantastically powerful team. Positives, what is the positive? Strong batting unit, strong pace unit, good options in spin Rahul, Krunal, for the captain choose from Piyush Chawla, who's been picked up in the last auction. And, well, what can I say? Very capable of completing a hat-trick, so the other teams beware. Let's move on to Delhi, yet to win a title. And will this be their year? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Delhi have flattered to deceive in the past. So, but last season I thought they did extremely well. Yes, towards the end of the tournament, they got a little jittery, and when they played the final, it looked like they had a bit of a stage fright. But it was a very well thought out, well selected team, and just so much bristling with talent, and for long stretches they actually played the most exciting cricket in the previous edition. Very strong on power hitters. Pant, Rishabh Pant, he's going to be the captain also. IPL strike rate of 151.97. Then there's Marcus Stoinis, then there's Hetmeyer. Strong pace bowling unit. Kagiso Rabada, purple cap winner in 2020. Umesh Yadav, Ishan Sharma, Tom Curran, and Nortje, who's having a wonderful time against Pakistan as we speak in the ODI series, but looking in very good form. Great experience in spin. R. Ashwin at the top of his form. He's riding a crest. An IPL economy of 6.87, which is fantastic. Amit Mishra missed most of the last season. He's back. Akshar Patel, a bit of a problem for him because he's tested positive, but once he's available, he's also in very good form. Surprise package could be Prithvi Shaw. A lot of people have forgotten him because of his failures in Australia, but he's come off a great Vijay Hazare tournament with 827 runs in the season, and looking to regain his place in the Indian team. There's also Shikhar Dhawan, let's not forget that. So, all in all, a very, very, very ebullient team. Also, but remember, Pant, first time he's going to captain an IPL team. He's captained Delhi in the past. So there will be pressure on him. How he copes with the pressure is obviously going to have a large impact on how the team fares. Hyderabad have won the title before in 2016. Very strong top order, as we know, Warner and Bairstow and Kane Williamson, Riddhiman Saha. They now also have the option of playing Jason Roy, who has a T20 strike rate of 142.22, which is fantastic. Strength is in the great option in the pace bowling department, especially in the death overs. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, after injury, he's come back, he's looking very strong and very good in form. T. Natarajan, 16 wickets in 16 matches in the previous edition. Now got international experience also and confidence. Sandeep Sharma has been a loyal performer for the Hyderabad team. Then there's the spin trio, all from Afghanistan actually. Rashid Khan, IPL, 16 matches last season, 20 wickets. And he's been a consistent performer. Mohammad Nabi, very good all-rounder. Apart from his off-spin, can also, he's known for his big hitting. And then you've got Mujibur Rahman, offloaded by Punjab, procured by Hyderabad. And add to this, Shahbaz Nadeem. So a lot of variety in spin. The worry is a bit of the middle order, and of course also which players to choose from the overseas quotient in the squad. The worry is in the middle order, they don't have too much experience, but they've got Kedar Jadhav. So if he fires, that's great, it will serve the purpose. Jason Holder. Now as I mentioned earlier that too many foreign options, Rashid Khan, Jason Holder, Warner, Bairstow, Williamson, they'll have to do some smart selection. Jadhav's strike rate in the IPL is actually 93.93, so this could be a make or break season for him in this tournament. So he has to really buck up, I think, for making that middle order a little more secure. Now the dark horses. Let's look at Bangalore. Almost always find a way out to not win the title, and unfortunately that's been the story of their campaign over the years. But they've got so much talent. Sometimes you wonder why it doesn't happen that they win a title. So they've got their regulars. The two totem poles are Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers. Now they've added the likes of Glenn Maxwell, Finn Allen, strike rate of 187.66 in T20s recently, and he's just scored 71 of 29 balls versus Bangladesh in a curtailed 10-over game. So they've got the big hitters, but Maxwell, remember, didn't do much for Punjab last time. Guy to watch out for in the big hitting kind of scenario is Mohammad Azharuddin, not the old Azharuddin from Hyderabad. This is Mohammad Azharuddin of this generation, strike rate of 142.27 in T20s and the highest of 137 not out. Then there is Devdutt Padikkal when available, because he's one of those who's tested positive. Finished as the top scorer for RCB last year with 473 runs. Good bowling options: Mohammad Siraj, Navdeep Saini, Washington Sundar from the Indian kind of scenario. There's Yuzvendra Chahal. Big worry: Kyle Jamieson, bought for a massive price, 15 crore. But he hasn't been in good form leading up to the IPL. But Jamieson also bad. So hopefully he will be performing with bat and ball for RCB this year. Moving on to Punjab, stocked with game changers. They've gone for a bit of an overhaul, but still stocked with game changers. Chris Gayle, KL Rahul, Nicholas Puran, not to forget Mayank Agarwal. Mayank Agarwal last year were fantastic. It'll be interesting to see how the likes of Jai Richardson and Riley Meredith perform. Punjab has spent heavily on them to overcome their pace bowling concerns. So we'll have to wait and see how it happens, how they perform, how quickly they adjust. Spin, Murugan Ashwin and Ravi Bishnoi, relatively inexperienced at the international level, but have been around in the IPL. So they should serve them well. Punjab, like RCB and like Delhi, haven't won the title even once. So I think if their bowling comes up with consistent performances, it could be a good season for them. Kolkata Knight Riders, two-time champions, couldn't find a place in the playoffs in the last two seasons. So they'll be looking at a kind of a resurgence under Ian Morgan. Very good quality, depth and quality in the batting with the likes of Gill, Morgan, Karthik and Russell. Worrying thing is too many players in the side seem to have been injury prone. They've got guys like Pat Cummins, Lockie Ferguson, but some of the Indian pace bowlers, who are youngsters who have been there. Prasida Krishna they've got, who made an India debut and made a good impression. But they need more consistency. I think getting their combination right has been one of the problems. And now we come to the team where the question marks. The question marks are over. Rajasthan Royals, inaugural champions, but that's a long time back. Inaugural champion of the IPL, still finding a way or seeking a way to repeat that feat. Very good top order. They've got Samson, Butler, Stokes, and then towards the, they've also got people like Rahul Tewatia, who had a great IPL 2020. But they need, and then they've got Chris Morris. So they've got top order, they've got the all-rounders who can all fire big time. They've also, got Mustafizur Rahman to strengthen the bowling. So Morris, Rahman are guys who don't give away too many runs, especially at the death. I think crucial for them is how guys like Riyan Parag, Rahul Tewatia, of course I mentioned, and Shivam Dubey, who is offloaded by RCB, how he fares. Riyan Parag also. If these youngsters or younger Indian players come good, then Rajasthan Royal will be doing well. Remember, they're without Steve Smith, who will be offloaded and will be captained by Sanju Samson. So like Rishabh Pant, Sanju Samson's captaincy will be under scrutiny. He's also a young man. Will he get burdened by the pressure of captaincy? Will it affect his batting? How will his captaincy affect the other team members? All it needs to be seen. Question mark. Also, it seems a little strange, but it's true. On CSK, Chennai Super Kings, 3-time champions, finished 7th in the last season, but quite a abysmal performance, I might say. Their poorest season in the history of the IPL. They failed to make the playoffs for the first time. That's how good they've been, consistent. But they seem to have regrouped. Suresh Raina is back. Ambati Raidu is there. MS Dhoni, of course, is at the helm. But they're all veterans. Ambati, Raina, Dhoni. Then they've got people like Imran Tahir. They're going to miss Josh Hazelwood, who's pulled out of the tournament. Moeen Ali has gone there. How he performs. Again, they don't have the benefit of playing at home. Chennai have always been strong playing at the Chepauk, but this time there's no home ground, concept. So players were picked for being suitable for Chennai conditions will probably, will not play a single game at that venue. So how it affects their performance remains to be seen. Remember, this is what affected them badly in the last season when it was played in the UAE. A lot will depend, of course, on Dhoni and stalwarts like, as I mentioned, Raina and Ambati Raidu and Dwayne Bravo. And look, CSK, they had a bad season. You can't write them off because they've been a fantastic team over the years.